Botsumbox fans? This is Scorp1701, and tonight we are going to be taking a look at the awesome, the Real Ghostbusters Funko Pops hitting shelves right now, and this is great. I always love me some Pops, and I love me some Real Ghostbusters, and you put the two together, mwah, chef's kiss, here we go. And I am almost positive that since Funko / MONDO just recently acquired the license to do the Real Ghostbusters toys, they decided to throw the license for these Funko Pops in there just to boot. And I am so happy they did, if that's what they did, because these are going to be awesome. And tonight we are going to look at all 4 of these Ghostbuster Pops. Okay, so take a look at the boxes. The boxes are all pretty much going to be the same. You're going to have a Funko Pop animation here at the top. You have the Real Ghostbusters. The numbers are going to be different. 1782 for Winston, 1783 for Egon, 1784 for Ray, and 1785 for Peter. And coming down, you do have a little picture of the pop of the character, Winston, Egon, Ray, and Peter. You have their names and some warnings on the top of the boxes. You just have their little heads sticking up, which makes it real easy for you to find a particular one in the shelves, because there are so many of them and it is so hard to find your pops. On the side of the box, you have this awesome pop animation, and then you have this really green and slimy combination thing. Kind of looks very 80-ish. I think I had a Trapper Keeper like that. I don't know. And then you have the guys all in their stature, and then you have their names and then their numbers. That is really cool. Flipping around to the other side of the box, you just have their names, numbers, and their little heads sticking up there, so that is neat. And coming to the bottom of the boxes, we have to turn them around because this is how they're made. You do have a barcode for each one, starting with Winston. Let's zoom in over here. Get that on the screen. So that is Winston's barcode right there, if that will help you find it in the store. Moving over, this is Egon's barcode, Ray, and Peter, if that is of any help to you. Finding these guys on the shelf, it should be. And finally, coming to the back as we pull these guys up, you do have the nice product shots on the back of all of the Ghostbusters and their particular character on the left side and pop. And this is really cool. And all of these boxes are very nicely done. I like them. I think I would have liked them better if they had more of a Ghostbuster motif or theme to them, like maybe the pictures of the firehouse or something like that. But I don't know, the green 80s motif is good too, I suppose. But anyway, that is going to be your boxes. I don't want to see these awesome Ghostbusters in the box. I know you don't. So let's get them out and see who ain't afraid of no ghost. And here we have the Ghostbusters out of the box. And out of the box, they are approximately 4 inches tall, and they're so cute. As most little pops are. Unlike most of your pops, each of the Ghostbuster pops comes with an accessory. Of course, it's just their proton beam, but, you know, it's still neat that you have the option of having them in a action pose or just a standard stand there with their Neutronowans in the hand pose. And also, when it comes to Peter, the leader of the Ghostbusters, he also comes with their pet ghost, Slimer. Well, I don't know if I'd call him a pet. He's just like a nuisance. But anyway, these are all very cute and very adorable. And since there are 4, we are going to have to look at one at a time. And let's start with the Everyman Ghostbuster, Winston. And coming real close in on Winston. Oh, come back up, Winston. He is done very nicely. He looks like Winston should. And if Winston was a pop, he's got nice black hair. And I got a little bit of a wave right here at the front. That is neat. Has some nice dark skin with eyebrows and pop eyes and little triangle nose there. Got some ears molded in. Coming around to the back, the hair just goes all the way down to the bottom of the head. And then coming to the figure himself, he is decked out in his standard standard light blue jumpsuit, which is trimmed at the collar and at the cuffs with red, or burgundy really. That is really cool. He does have some little elbow pads coming around here that are molded on there. Beautiful Ghostbuster logo right here on his right arm. And then he has his belts coming around and some keychains and whatever, what have you, some other doodads here. And then you have the pack, which you see the straps here coming down from the front, and then he's holding his Neutrino wand. Nicely done, colors picked out. You got your blue barrel with some brown, and the little blue wire going around, another blue handle, and then the Neutrino wand itself done in that dark blue. You got the red fire button there, and then the yellow activation button. That is cool. You do get a little bit of brown for the handle, and that's coming down and attached to a yellow hose, which will come to the back and up to the pack. And the pack is nicely done, very detailed for being so small. You got the ghost trap here molded onto the side of the pack, and you got the yellow caution motif and the handle, and then on the side you got the light blue and the red, and then the pack itself you got the different colors, the reds, the yellows, the blues, and this is really neat. You got the little collider down here, that the stripe that goes down the bottom. This is very detailed. Even the hook right here on the side where the Neutrino wand will stay. This is such a cool little figure. And coming to his boots, finally, they're nicely done. They're blue, and they do have some copyright on them, so that is really nice. I love Pops. You can do a lot with them, and they did justice to Winston here, and that is really cool. And for articulation, the only thing that he can do is wiggle his head 360 degrees around, and that is nice. But he does come with his Neutrino beam, and this is really cool. His proton beam, whatever you want to call it. And you can attach it to the end of his Neutrino wand, and zoom! You can start shooting some ghosts. That is really cool. I love it. And the Neutrino wand is nice and zigzaggy. It's made of nice soft plastic, and it's yellow like it should be. And that is gonna be cool. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is your Winston Pop. Moving on. And next up we are coming to Egon Spengler, the brains of the Ghostbusters, and he looks so adorable. Look at those glasses. Oh my gosh. Now, Egon was always kind of the most different from the movies. He had this really crazy white hair with a little circle coming around the front. I don't know what that's about, but hey, it was cool. It was the 80s. That was a cool hairstyle, right? And he has it here, nice little swirl here at the top. You got the little shaved parts down here layered, and coming around to the back, you got more layer, and then you have the little rat tail that he always had. That was cool, and this is really neat. And coming from the he has nice eyebrows right here. They're done in the same blonde coloring. You have his little glasses. Now these are separate pieces. They're like glued on, and there is actually clear plastic for lenses, so you can actually get a cool little shine. You can hit the camera lights like that. That is neat. Cool nose molded in there with some ears. Coming it down, he is in his darker blue jumpsuit with the pink trimming on the collar and on the cuffs. Well, actually, I think they missed the cuffs for the arms. That's interesting. All right, well, then it's okay. He does have the standard elbow pads and pockets on the front that Winston had. You have the belts, and he has the standard boots with copyright on the bottom of them, if you're interested in that. And he has his Neutrino wand, and it is the same coloring with the hose. It goes around to the pack, and no difference in this coloring on the pack. It's good, it's consistent. I really like that molded pack detail. And then that is pretty much going to be it for what he looks like. His head is the only thing that moves 360 degrees. per se. I mean, his glasses, you kind of move up and down. I wouldn't mess with them too much because you might pop them off. And then the hose here, like on Winston, I didn't point it out, but the hose kind of moves up and down. But again, I'd be very careful with that because I don't want it to detach or come apart. So you would have to glue it back. Anyway, that is him. And he does also come with his proton beam. And it is kind of a pinkish color. Kind of, like it's supposed to be if you're going back to the Real Ghostbuster toys, how they all came with different colored proton beams. And there you go. It can sit on there really nicely. And you go zap some ghosts. Boogeyman, come here, Boogeyman. Of course, Boogeyman wasn't a ghost, was he? And that looks really nice. I love Egon. He was one of my favorites. All right, but there are more Ghostbusters to review. Moving on. And next up we have Ray Stantz, the heart of the Ghostbusters. And yeah, he's done really nice as well. He has his standard orange hair with a little swoosh coming down the front. Little saddish eyebrows there, pop eyes and nose and ears, and basically his hair goes all the way down to the back, and he is in his standard khaki outfit. This is more akin to the Ghostbusters uniforms in the movies. He's always looked like, they should have been if they really did a one-for-one transfer from the cartoon to the movie. He does have a little bit of darker paint to trim out his collar and his cuffs on his arms and his legs here, and that is there. He does have nice bluish green boots and copyright on the bottom, if that's of any interest to you. His neutrino wand is in his hand, nice and done, just like the others. Hose coming down to the pack. Little attachment there that you didn't see really well on the others. Coming to the back, you got the standard colors, the yellows and the blues and the reds. That is cool. Ghostbuster symbol there on his right arm. And yeah, that is Ray. And Ray's head will go around 360 degrees, so that is cool. And we will bring in his proton beam, which is yellow. Now, this is strange because technically Ray's proton beam is supposed to be orange, but if you bring Winston's back, you get pretty much two of the same color. These are the same color. So I don't know if they kind of just missed it or if they said, well, orange is kind of close enough. Maybe there is a slight color differential in there. I can't really tell based on looking at it with the naked eye, but it pretty much looks the same to me. But this one's supposed to be orange and Winston's supposed to be yellow, but either way, it doesn't really matter. It works. And you can, again, put this in here, attach it to Ray's neutrino wand, and he can go zapping. Get him! So that is really neat. All right, and that is going to be Ray Stantz. Moving on. And that brings us to Peter Venkman, the leader of the Ghostbusters. And he looks really good like the others did. He has nice brown hair and it's up in a big wave here at the front. You got little tufts coming off the side. And it comes all the way down past the bottom of his head because he did have some longer hair. So that is neat. Have his nice eyebrows and eyes and nose and ears all molded in there. And he is wearing his traditional brown jumpsuit with a little bit of greenish blue trim at the collar and on the cuffs. I love that. Coming over to his right arm, you have the Ghostbuster symbol. Now, it looks a little skewed. I don't know if that's like that because he has his arm a certain way or if they just kind of missed the mark on it. I'm not sure. Nice elbow pads, and he is sporting his neutrino wand just like everybody else. A lot of detail in the wands, and you got the standard colors up here for the fire button and the activation button for the red and the yellows. Got a little bit of blues and the yellow hose coming down to the back of the pack, and that is just beautiful. I love this pack. So Hasbro, if you want to do a HasLab with another Ghostbuster proton pack and you want to make it animated colors and the trap attached to the side, count me in. I'll be all over that. Got your standard belt with his gadgets on it, coming down to his little boots, and the copyright on the bottom. So yes, love Peter. Head 360 degrees, just like the others. It is a great looking pop. And with Peter, he comes with his proton beam, and it is going to be a nice green color, which it should be, because that is how the toy came. And that will attach here, and he could just go to zapping. Zap, zap, zap. Yeah, very cool. Love it. Love Peter. My favorite Ghostbuster. And because, I don't know if he's the leader or it's because it made sense because he always bothered him, but Peter also comes with a Slimer. Slimer is very cool. He comes in around 2 inches and he just looks like Slimer. He's all green. He's got some cool orange eyes. His mouth is wide open, huge tongue sticking out there. You got a little bit of teeth, and you can see the inside of his mouth. He got little arms coming down to the side of his body, and yeah, he is kind of molded onto this little mount here. And on the bottom, you do get some copyright material there. So, yeah, that is pretty neat. It looks like they kind of double molded his head, because this looks like a single piece that they kind of just attached and glued on there. Don't know why that was necessary, but hey, it is cool. And, yeah, you don't usually get pops with accessories, much less a, packed in pet or other character, so that is really neat. And again, Slimer only comes with Peter, and that is a really neat pack-in. Alright, and that is going to be Peter Venkman. Moving on. And full comparison, here you have the Funko Pop Real Ghostbusters next to the Kenner Real Ghostbusters. These are the original / reissues, and this is what they would look like together. I think that looks really nice. When it comes to the aesthetic, the costumes and the hair are the same, so nothing to complain about there. Bring in the Slimers of each set, and that's okay. A little closer look on them. I think the Kenner Slimer has always been too big, and he looked a little meaner than he should have, but it's all we had at the time, and we appreciated it. Taking the Slimers out, we have the guys with their Trinowans drawn and whirling around, well, as best as it can be. The Kenner Ghostbusters never did have the articulation to be able to hold on to their Trinowans with 2 hands, but you could put it in one or the other arm, so that is cool. Having them there together, and they could shoot things a little closer up on Peter and Ray, and Egon and Winston. So yeah, they're pretty neat. And full comparison, here you have the Real Ghostbuster Pops with the Diamond Select Real Ghostbusters. And the Diamond Select Ghostbusters here have always been a little closer to what fans, I think, have wanted for action figures with Ghostbusters, and until we get our MONDO set, this is the best that we've ever had. So taking a look at them together, you can see the Diamond Selects with their Tronowans holstered, and can't really do that with the Pops, and the Slimers look cool. Now adjusting the Diamond Select Ghostbusters to kind of mimic the Pop positions, I think that looks pretty good for what it is. And then adding the proton streams on both, you got a lot of cool Ghostbuster action there. I love that. Again, coming up real close on Peter and Ray, they look alright. And Egon and Winston, I think that looks pretty nice. And getting a little closer with the Diamond Select Slimer and the Funko Pop Slimer. Yeah, there's not a lot you could do with the Funko Pop in regards to detail and obviously articulation, but they kind of look okay together. Here's a side by side. They got arms and tongue sticking out and eyes, and then facing each other. It's a Slimer. Alright, and that is going to be your comparisons. Moving on. And this has been the Real Ghostbuster Pops from the Funko Pop Animation Series. And I love these little guys. I have always been a fan of the Real Ghostbusters, and pretty much anything that you have with the Real Ghostbusters is going to draw me. And like I said at the very beginning, they have pops of everything, and now they have pops of the Real Ghostbusters. These were definitely a must pick up for me, and I am very happy to have them. They look great. The main body is sculpted and painted well. You can definitely tell who they're supposed to be. The detail that they put in the costumes and in the proton packs is great, even up to like all the paint detail. Nothing is really slopped or scuffed up on these. I love that. The little accessories of the proton beams are great. You can display them multiple ways, with the beam and without the beam. I think that's a neat little bonus for them. And obviously the inclusion of Slimer with Peter. That was a surprise. But then again, I guess if they made Slimer an independent character, he'd be huge, and that would kind of put him along the same size as the Real Ghostbuster Slimer from the Kenner, and he would be too big, I think. So them throwing him in with Peter was great. You could have thrown him in with Ray too, because I think they had a close relationship. But Peter, I guess, is the more practical one because he's the leader, and Slimer did aggravate him the most. But anyway, yeah, I love these pops. I really want some more. I'm kind of thinking that maybe they could put out a jumbo Mr. Stay Puft. That would be great. They did have a Ghostbuster Ecto 1 pop vehicle thing, and it wouldn't be too hard to kind of remold that and throw in one of these animated pop heads into there. So I think that's cool. I could also see some potential for putting these out in glow in the dark. The proton beams glowing in the dark would be awesome, and maybe Slimer's eyes, or maybe whole Slimer being glow in the dark, so that would be neat. So there's a lot of potential that they could do with this. Putting out some Real Ghostbusters ghosts, I think that would be good. You could put them in the jumbo level like Mr. Stay Puft, and obviously you'd want Samhain, the Boogeyman, Sandman, and the others that they're going to be putting out. And again, I do believe that the only reason we got these is because Funko made the deal with Columbia Pictures to get rights to the Real Ghostbusters, and why not throw in these as an added bonus with the MONDO figures. So this is a great appetizer before we get our main course of the MONDO figures, and I just can't wait for that. So if you are looking for these awesome little guys, you can find them at your online retailers and on the shelves, and they will range anywhere between $12 to $14. So if you are looking for them, happy hunting. And that's going to be it. That is going to be the video for the Real Ghostbusters Funko Pops. I hope you enjoyed it. And before I go, I just want to let everybody know that over at Bots and Books, we are doing a 900 subscriber giveaway, and we are putting up the Turtles of Grayskull Deluxe Krang figure. So if you are looking for him, you missed him, then come on over, enter the giveaway. You get a chance to win this guy for free. Yes, for free. All you gotta do is go over there, watch the video, follow the rules, and next Sunday, February 2nd, we will be giving this guy away to some lucky contestant. Alright guys, that's it. That's the video. Have a great night, and until next time, keep playing.